Welcome to the sixth chapter with Kayrnix. As a reminder, these videos that I do are primarily an excuse to practice speaking English. We are going to be probably on to a shorter chapter because it's late right now and I don't think I can get much time out for this. Patrol droid, let's start with that. Elite champion. That is that. We don't have a bonus mission for this. Also, a change from the last chapter. My subscription has run out, and I'm not going to renew it, at least for now. But the idea is to wait for the next expansion.
You must be the operative Lord Barris sent. I thought he'd choose a stealthy assassin, not some senseless savage.
Just tell me the situation here.
Fine. I'll rise above my discontent. For now, listen. Lord Grathan is a rogue Sith who boldly defies the Dark Council. Locked away here, he's been untouchable. Lord Barris wants to let Grathan know he can be reached. And after a year undercover, I discovered the way. Lord Grathan has a son.
Oh yeah, and that's all you've got.
Maybe in another year you can find out his shoe size.
He wears boots, not shoes, smart mouth. I was assigned to find Grathan's weakness. He's kept his son a secret in order to protect him from his enemies. Grathan would be devastated if his only child and heir was dead. That would send a message.
Just
Okay.
tell me where he is. I will be the messenger.
You'll have to be more than a messenger. Grathan's kid is nearly 20 and strong with the Force. He's been trained in the ways of the Sith since birth. You'll have your hands full.
I highly doubt it.
All right. Maybe underestimating your foes works for you. Grathan's away on business. I managed to hack a special spike that will get you inside his private quarters. But first you're going to have to knock out Grathan's surveillance station so you aren't seen entering the quarters.
That sounds simple enough.
Yes, we wouldn't want to tax you with anything too complicated. All you have to do is locate the monitoring stations around the compound and, well, stick your lightsaber in them. Think you can handle that, brute?
I'm so going to kill you.
Keep calling me names, Bo. You're playing with fire.
Is it so easy to get under your skin? That's all then. Destroy the monitoring stations, then get inside Grathan's private quarters. The son's name is Beelslit. Find him and end him. I'll meet you back here when you're done. Try not to screw up.
I kinda like his attitude. All better.
I wasn't allowed to suck it. I'm disappointed. They changed that notification. I think they all were fine enough, but well, that was a quick way to deal with a group of 3. I think this spec might be quite effective. And now to the down. Where is Beth? She's vanished. There she appears. Yes, I like this. Let's annihilate these guys. Oh, that was bad. Nice work, girl. I don't have to punish you for this one. Just in front of this. Well, this chapter will be short because it's late and being late. I haven't thought a matter to discuss since the previous chapter shows. I'm still not good enough at this speaking in English to be not only fluid but to avoid repeating myself a lot. Got past the point I needed to go. Here are the controls. Unlock the security door. It's done and now cutscene.
Mother, a stranger approaches.
You don't know the half of it, kid.
I am SWTOR Grathan. How dare you enter my son's room uninvited? Who are you?
My name won't matter when you're dead.
You'll find I'm not so easily intimidated. My son is still an acolyte, but I am Sith. Feels it. Take cover.
No, Mother!
That's why you
I
stepped
stand at
back.
your side. Attack!
Good thing about that boss is
Get
now
ready now.
both are together and I can get it done with the extending the blade to him.
Enough. It's clear we are not your match. If we're to die, I must know. What have we done to deserve death?
That's not the
It's not
point.
personal.
If not, then perhaps you'll entertain another option. You have fought your way into the inner sanctum of a powerful Sith Lord stronghold. You are a breath away from the Master himself. Spare us, and I'll help you destroy Lord Grathan instead.
You'd say anything, but Baras didn't want me to kill him, just to show him that he can get him, isn't it? What he did, what he wanted, to scare him off rather than just eliminating him. You'd say anything.
You want me to kill your husband? Aren't you the dutiful wife?
I married Lord Grathan for power. It was a means to an end. Now I want out. I'm strong, but can't touch my husband. How long I've waited for someone to end his oppressive rule.
Well, if she is a Sith, we can be sure certainly that she's unlikely to be lying in something like that, since sooner or later every Sith will want to kill any other Sith who is superior. But we know that she is human. We know that the song is human. By attacking them, I am allowing two filthy non-Sith climb the title of my race that is the only worthy of the title. Not boy.
Sorry,
So
my
I'm going
orders
to
are
kill.
clear.
Fieldslit, run!
No, Mother. If I am to die, I die alongside you.
And task done. So now go back to the same place than before. And yeah, the last was about the Goblin Slayer that I spoke, and how it was heavily attacked by a group of hypocrites because of what I explained, and meaning that they annoyed me enough that I wanted to give it some audience. Just to spite us doesn't mean that I think that so is good. It's at the very best serviceable. You can get some entertainment out of it, but it's not really good. It has problem with the tone. It doesn't quite to have very clear what level of tone it wants to perform. And very inconsistent. But those problems are already in the original sources. The light novel has the same problem, those problems as well. But what the original novel has, and that the series doesn't, with the exception of, you could say, one scene where Cowgirl wakes up in the second chapter, is the tone of it being like an erotic product. There are generally no erotic ways of showing the characters in the series, but it is in the descriptions of the manga. And I think, considering some of the themes that, some of the scenes that happen, that's a good thing by the manga, and a worse point to blame the light novels.
I'm surprised you survived. So is it done? Is Grathan's son dead?
It was easy.
I didn't even break a sweat.
Somehow I doubt that. Doesn't say much for Grathan security forces if a clumsy clod like you was able to bang into his private chamber and off his son.
I find your empty chatter amusing.
You'll find my lightsaber a bit sobering. Killing the murderer of Grathan's son will solidify my cover here. Barris can replace you easily.
Varys will be needing a new spy. I'm going to enjoy killing you.
Though I'm more than capable
Yes,
of facing
very
you alone,
much.
a smart man uses every advantage.
One less
And I am a
false,
smart man.
and you take so much time to
The intruder is here!
that, and why does it makes I wanted to make a fortune to him. And that was even easier. Get back to Paras, right? Yes, return to Paras. What else? Some say that it is a strong point of the series is that it is kind of a representation of a reminiscence of playing Dungeons and Dragons, but if we are going to take it in that manner, from that point of view, I don't agree. It's true, it can be viewed to extent, it can be viewed in that way. The lack of proper nouns. The characters are not known by the proper name, but
or invading a hostile Sith compound for that matter.
But just the profession. The protagonist is Goblin Slayer because he only takes quests to kill goblins. Then there's Cowgirl because he's a farmer that tends for the farm, including cows.
Destination.
There is a Night Lady, Spearman, and so on and so forth. To get the girl kind of callback to how in role-play in some groups it is not rare for players tend to not quite remember, as the joke goes, the names of the characters, and usually end referring to characters by some kind of nicknames, as jokes about the hobby go. But in the end, it's mostly some heavy-handed and silly ways to refer, to speak about throwing dice, and the gods roll the dice to decide the fate of the universe in a fight between the dark gods and the gods of order, rather the gods of chaos and the gods of order. It's not really a very well thought way to make a parallelism about adventuring in D&D. It is, I think, rather childless and obvious. If you want to do something, if you want to watch a series that has, that varies for what slave captains, your dedication to brutality is commendable. My apprentice, study commander, reads this report and remember the value of aggression. To Darth Varas, Commander Prince, Slave Captains, Subject. The slave captains are dead, my lord. Your apprentice exterminated every boy foolish enough to attempt blackmail against you. The surviving slaves waged the revolt you designed with renewed strength. They now know the price of disappointing the great Darth Varas. I will continue to monitor the insurgents. Thanks to your apprentice, the slaves' continued obedience is assured. that is obtained going to your account, the tab to what is said redeem a code and entering I think it is that the code that is used to receive those rewards. If celebration isn't the right one, then it would be Cantina. Those trousers are worse than what I have, so need to sell them.
Do you require medical attention? Be well.
I think more effective as a series to view from the point of view of
Wow, nice lights.
reminiscing
Like a
and
really
thinking
instant
on it as a sort of a D&D campaign. It is much better the old series, the classic that is the record of Lotus War. It has to afterwards.
I cannot break him!
Nice lungs you got there.
Mind your tongue, or I will cut it out!
Okay, I'm officially scared.
This is impossible. An unknown power must be shielding this man, which only confirms my suspicions. This Republic agent is the key to unlocking the threat we face. I must harness my rage and frustration. They will lead me to an answer.
Be persistent. I'm sure you will find a way.
Your encouragement is noted, my apprentice. And the word has spread that Lord Grathan is incensed at the slaying of his secret son. I take it that was your handiwork?
Well, the animation and delivery of that wasn't so much encouraging, I would say. It was indeed.
You see it correctly.
My confidence in you is growing. I haven't heard from Dykel Paul, my agent in Grathan's camp. He's missed a scheduled communication. Let me guess. He gave you trouble, did he?
He gave me no trouble at all.
I can sense the truth behind your words, apprentice. All can be replaced. Now, back to my prisoner. There's one last possibility to break him. I thought it impossible, but perhaps there's a small chance you could pull it off. Over a millennium past, the Emperor claimed Drummond Castle and made the Dark Temple the epicenter of Dark Force energy.
Oh,
In the bowels of the temple, he conducted horrifying experiments that drained the knowledge and life essence from all the greatest Sith Lords of the time.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
I'm sure that he would be relieved to hear that you approve. The Emperor created a device called the Ravager that ate his victims' minds and delivered to him their greatest secrets. No one could withstand the Ravager's intrusion. Even the strongest Sith Lords of the Empire confessed whatever the Emperor craved.
I'm sure the Emperor has the best toys.
I wouldn't call the Ravager a toy, apprentice. It's not to be taken lightly. The Emperor keeps the Ravager hidden in the Dark Temple, which has, in his absence, become a death trap. There's a good chance the horrors that await you will be too severe. But it's worth your life to me. The legends describe a secret chamber in the depths of the Dark Temple where the Ravager was encased. You'll know the device by its inscription. Be swift, apprentice.
sometimes those black screens take so long. This is for the tank, right? Yeah, for tank. And that influence has increased despite
All better.
her disapproving most of the things that I said. In the old days that would mean that he would hate me and her effectiveness with crew missions and as a combat companion would drop, which admittedly has problems regarding the mechanics of the game and being effective in a fight. And I can understand why they thought sooner or later that it was better to forego that and let the players not be punished because they're playing their evil character as evil characters instead of breaking the character. So that likes him better and making her a more efficient companion. And because this is an MMORPG, at least, they went to reinforce the RP component of it by not punishing the players that wanted to take the answers and that the character would do in game. Well, I was saying Record of Lodoss War is an old series. It has two versions, the TV series, which is I think a single season of some 12 characters that are not set in chronological order, and another version that is made of 2 seasons for a total of 26 episodes. For the short is called usually the TV version, and I don't remember if the other long 2 chapters one has a specific name to be known as, to distinguish it from the TV version when you want to refer specifically to it when saying a Record of Lodoss War. You can tell the age because the lack of resources and the primitive animation techniques didn't allow them to do some complex animation, and you can see in action scenes a lot of reused
You're good to go.
of reused footage. There is, you can see in a fight against a group of orcs, and you see the same animation of the same group of orcs a few times. But well, it's not so bad that you couldn't enjoy the
mission accomplished.
show. It's good. The 2 series, the 2 seasons, 126 chapters is better, is considered better narrative structure. I'm not sure about the art. There are points in which the characters seem better drawn than in the TV versions. Are other moments in which they feel way too simplified, and in those times I prefer the TV version in regards to the drawings of the characters. The Dark Temple. Hundreds of years ago, the Sith Emperor ordered the construction of the Dark Temple as a burial place for the dead and defeated enemies, to aid them in becoming one with the Force. Little is known of what rituals the Emperor performed there, but the Dark Temple has become a nexus of powerful dark side energy, and a place where ancient weapons and ancient secrets of the Sith lie sealed away in cavernous chambers. Although the Dark Temple grounds have always been a dangerous place for the weak-willed, the expansion of the City power grid into tunnels beneath the temple drove 1,000 slaves mad. The temple itself remained sealed until recently, when an expedition of power-hungry Sith lords and their servants breached the gateway. The Dark Council did not sanction this intrusion, nor did it punish the rogue Sith. No one returned from the expedition to punish. Violent electrical storms surrounded the temple for the first week after it was opened, and since then additional expeditions have been sent by the Council to determine the temple's status. The reports have not been made public. Well, one of the reasons the non-TV version is better is that the story, which I don't know if it spawns from manga or light novel or it's an original anime series. I think it comes from some novel. Has two main arcs. The, let's say, normal those wars, the 26 chapter version tells them separately. The first arc occupies the first 13 chapters, and the second the other 13 chapters. However, because of the shorter duration of the TV series, to only 12 chapters, the TV series has to compress them that and tell both storylines, both arcs, at the same time, one along the other. And I think that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching, goodbye.